We'll call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Mr. Lee Keener, would you please bless the meeting?
Creator, Father, Lord, thank you today for letting us be here to discuss matters of the nation, of the people. Lord, we thank you that we are able to do it freely. Lord, please guide our decisions, and we humbly ask you for your direction. In Jesus' name, amen.
Roll call.
Stowbird,
Honey.
John Garvin, Bill England, Matt Baker.
Here.
Julia Coates. Here. Jody Fishingham. Here. Meredith Fraley. Jeanette Fulbright. Frankie Hargis. Present. Chuck Hoskin Jr.
Here.
Tyler Glory Jordan.
Present.
Lee Keener.
Honey.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
David Thornton.
Present.
David Walkenstead. Carrie Cowan Watch. You have a quorum.
Next item on the agenda, be the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion. Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move on to reports.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
sir.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include under new business a resolution on the 50th anniversary of the new Ashoda Historic Site.
A motion to amend the
Second.
agenda.
Yes.
Second, first, and second. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Is that good?
Yes.
Okay, we move on to reports. Ms. Diane Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have some handouts. I killed some trees, and I'm sorry. I know, you tree huggers, I'm sorry. Councilman Hoskin had asked for some information on our job bank, and this was information that we had put together, and it was sitting in the corner of my office, and I didn't know it. It's been over there for over a month, so I'd like to hand this out. It's just information about the job bank and what we're doing with Jobs Well Done, and you want to take one of these and pass them down. And then some of you all had asked for some demographic information. I told you that we were working with Northeastern to come up with demographic information when we were working on these businesses. And this is information about your respective districts. I know that some of you all are having community meetings. I know that Councilman Snell and Hargis and Fishing Hawk have one at J tomorrow night. Well, this is information about Adair County, Ottawa County, and Delaware County. It's demographic information about your unemployment population, number of miles per area, so you can look at this. And it's good information that you may want to share with people out in your respective communities. So I've got this here, and I've got all your names, so you can just pick out yours and pass them on around. And I've got it by your district, so that way. Now, Councilman Baker and Coates, I don't have yours because I have to. I'm sorry, but this was just on the 14 counties. I do apologize. George Roach had asked me to share with you that this year they're going to go out to their respective communities and have their GED ceremonies. They'll just have refreshments. They had tried to have like a big reception for all of the GED graduates here at the Capitol, but it's very difficult to get people to drive in from places like Nowata or Bartlesville or Salis all the way up here, so they're just having receptions with their certificates that they're giving out, and I think you'll be notified when they have those in your respective areas. Our Scrub Tech training program is moving this week to the second floor of the building next door to the Tarot building that's located up here on the hill across from the water tower. Patty Sumner is the instructor for that, and they're going to be up on the second floor above where our business technology program is going to be down on the first floor. Job readiness certification, we were certified, the 14 counties was certified as a work-ready community. They're going to be updating that so that we can maintain our certification for these 14 counties for any businesses that want to locate in our area. We have two big major job fairs, one May the 1st at West Siloam Springs and one May the 29th at the Hard Rock. And then we also have 4 other job fairs that are centered around the Veneta Clinic and they're health related. There's about 100 positions that we're actually going to be working with our HR office and the health department in recruiting for the Veneta Clinic. And this will be during May and June. Job Corps really have to toot their horn. They have done an outstanding job in their recruitment. Our center's full. We've got 271 students at the Job Corps, which is the most that we've ever had. And my team, which is headed up by Delbert Stanley, and his outreach admissions counselors, they're out there really recruiting and doing an outstanding job. We've been working with Don Childers at the C&E. Don's been working with us for a while, and we're trying to get his security guards certified, and we're going to be working with the AG's office on some of the legislation that will probably be coming before you, maybe in rules this month, so that we can get that changed, so that we can get these security guards trained and upgraded in their positions. So we're working with them on that. We've got 3 adult literacy teachers we're going to be hiring on emergency hires for the summer to help with our basic skills. We have a lot of 14 and 15-year-olds that are making application for summer youth. The deadline is April the 27th. So if you know of anybody that's wanting to make applications for summer youth, they've got to get their applications complete by April the 27th. That doesn't mean that we won't take applications after the 27th, but anybody that you refer to us after the 27th, or anybody that comes in after the 27th, their applications will be put off to the side, and if we have additional resources, then we'll work with them. If not, they'll just be put there, and we'll notify them that the slots are already filled. And we have to do this so that we have adequate time to meet with the job sites and also meet with the students and go over all the different safety issues with them for the summer. Day work will be shutting down for 1 week to allow counselors that week to work with their summer youth applications. So we've put out notifications last week. We're putting out notifications this week. We've got flyers on all of our field offices. It's on our website that we're shutting down for that 1 week so that my counselors can actually work on their summer youth files. We will deal with any emergencies that come up, though. That's pretty much it.
Councilman Amos?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Diane, could you send us a copy of my email, a list of phone numbers for area offices?
Send what now?
A list of who we need to contact for the different programs in the area office, like Claremore and Catoosa.
Yep.
Just so we know who to contact, instead of just randomly trying to get hold of some of those.
Is that not in that information that I just gave you?
Well, that's what I was looking for, and I haven't found it.
It may not be. I'll make sure, though, that we get that to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Anybody else? Councilman Hostin?
Mr. Chairman. I've skimmed over this on the job bank, but if someone applies out in the field and fills out a job bank card, do the counselors out in the field enter that data into our computer system, or does that physically just get mailed or faxed?
It gets sent down to the main office, and Dennis Carter puts it into the Jobs Well Done job bank. He's the person that puts that information in.
Is there a policy in place where those counselors in the field have to every so often send that stuff in, or they just expected to periodically at their own discretion?
They send it as soon as they get it. They can email it in to Dennis, or they bring it when they come into the field office, from the field office. But he's the one who is actually charged with getting that out to all the different locations.
That he pretty regularly enters this stuff in?
Yes, he has a girl that's working with him right now, so that way he doesn't get behind if he's not in the office. There's a girl that's working on that, so it's pretty updated. They merged most of those so that some of the addresses that were not correct, they throw those out because they had contacted some of the people, the phone numbers were not valid, and they tried to merge those, so that's why some of the numbers look like that they're down, but they're trying to keep that updated.
Any more questions? Diane, one thing. You know, we've had all of this inclement weather. It appears like we have been a little derelict in most of our buildings here at Cherokee Nation. Every time I come to a committee meeting, there's another building that's having leaks in the roofs, and you know, we have them seem like at every building that we meet in. I've heard the same thing about Job Corps, the girls' do. Is that something we can do, a little appraisal on there, see if that needs repair?
With the Job Corps Center, since it's a contracted center, there is a facilities contract. It's called PV Dewberry. They come around on an annual basis, and they check all those out, and they actually put money into the budget for facilities, so it doesn't come out of our operating budget. And I'm not really sure when they're scheduled to be through here. I think it's usually in the summer, about the time we have our summer break, which is usually around the 4th of July. And I'm sure that's probably one of the things that Jay and them's trying to do, is to hold off so that they can get it put into that
Would you please note
budget.
that, just report back to us?
Yes, I sure will.
Thank you very much. Councilor Watts?
Thank you. Now I forgot what my question was.
You can always come back.
Okay, well, it's for Diane though, so I'll get back to it. Thank
Okay,
you so
all right.
much, Chairman.
Good report.
Thank you.
Executive Director's report, Dr. Morton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council members, you have my report. If there are questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Question.
I just had a comment. Thank you for the new fonts.
Good.
Please tell your team that did that, thank you.
I sure will.
Would, uh,
They're doing a fabulous job. Really are. And really, you notice I do not have backup today. Verna, by the way, will not be here to make the report. She was invited. In fact, it was a competitive program by National Head Start for a very small number of Head Start directors to attend a program at UCLA on how to train your own trainers, which will save us quite a bit of consultant money, and we'll be able to schedule our own training sessions according to our schedule rather than waiting on National Office of Head Start. So that's where she is today.
Councilor Keener.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I was looking through my book and I saw that page with the font, and that was really exciting, so I'm really glad to see that. Long overdue.
What I'd really like to do at some time in, during the summer is to ask a technology team in language to show you some of the fabulous things they're doing, especially with Microsoft. That's going to be an outstanding. We thought we were really doing something with things we've done in the past, but the program with Microsoft now is going to make it, just listen to my word there, theoretically possible for a person 50 years from now who's never heard Cherokee to learn to speak Cherokee. Notice I said theoretically.
Dr. Morton,
But it's great.
You might just summarize the recent meeting of the three tribes, the language consortium, as you might say. I attended it, seemed like there was a lot of dialogue, and a lot came out of it. It seemed very successful, from
that is a program that, once you get a program started that works, it's there. It's going to stay, and that one is. It's a meeting involving the Eastern Band, the Cherokee Nation, and the Kituwa Band to work together on agreeing on how to say words so that the language becomes cohesive. And for those words that for which we do not have a pronunciation, do not have a way to say it, the three groups agree on what that word will be called. And the immersion school, in the teaching, when they come upon a word and they say, whoops, we don't have a word for that in Cherokee, then they make a list. Then every quarter of the year, we have the meeting either here or at the Eastern Band, They meet for 4 days, and they go over the word list. And then they provide the teachers the official word for television, rockets, or whatever.
Absentee voting.
Too bad we didn't have that back a long time ago. Then automobile would be the same in Kenwood as it is in Martin City. But it's been a good month. By the way, one other announcement too. We were invited to send a couple of representatives from the higher ed office to the college resource office to a meeting in Phoenix because they want to hear about this cohort program that we have, this dorm program where we put 45 students who were supposed to fail. You know, most of them were first-generation college students. Most of them were Pell Grant students, and we didn't lose any. 45 completed the first semester and enrolled second semester. So if we can keep that rolling, then that's good too. We'll try to get, well, no, I won't try. I'll get the list to each of you of the valedictorians and salutatorians in your district, plus the date upon which the school plans to make those awards. We have most of them, but we're going to go back and call again because the worst thing we can do is leave someone out. That embarrasses you when you get there if we've left one out or if we have the wrong name, and it embarrasses all of us. So we have most of them followed up on yours, and we have that.
Thank you.
So,
Good report. Jody Senate, Councilor Fishing Hawk.
Yeah, Dr. Martin, I had asked you some questions on a phone call here lately about Cherokee Nation Educational Foundation. Could you write a brief description or summary for me of the things that they're doing that is repetitive, that are the same things that aren't educational?
some of the areas where there may be some overlap or some mix-up.
Yes.
You want me to work out a
Yes.
summary and, okay.
Because it seems like a lot of it's repetitive.
There are some instances where there is a little bit of confusion. We get a few calls on scholarships saying that, hey, we submitted and we never heard from you. Well, it didn't go to us, so.
Okay, because I'd like to know what you all.
But now with the online system, that isn't as great a problem as it was in the past.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question about the Educational Foundation, and this might be a question that's better presented, I guess, jointly with our AG. Is he still back here?
I am, ma'am.
Okay. You might want to step up here, Todd. My question is, I realize and I fully agree that we need a 501 sometimes to receive educational funds for tax purposes of the person that's giving the money. But is there any prohibition from, once that foundation receives it, that they could not then donate it to Cherokee Nation Education Department so it could be distributed out to students?
Well, all things are possible. I mean, and that's the one thing that, if the council wishes to, visit the scope of our 501c3 Act, that's well within your purview. So, I guess to answer your question, is it possible? Yes.
I would ask you just to look into that
Okay.
issue to see if that is a possibility.
Sure.
That funds that are received by that 501 could be then donated to or transferred to the Education Department for administering.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Councilor Coates.
I'd just like to comment on a couple of things. That first of all, the Cherokee Nation Foundation, as it's presently called, is able to provide scholarships for at-large students, which the Cherokee Nation does not. And the issue, as I understand it, around donating funds to the Cherokee Nation is that there are a number of funding agencies out there who specifically will not give to tribal governments. They're prohibited either by the government's regulations itself or by the foundations or the philanthropic groups' provisions. And that this was set up to be a way that we could access additional monies for scholarships, and that donating to the government would therefore actually probably result in a reduction of our ability to raise those kinds of additional funds for Cherokee students. So that, you know, I'm certain that'll be probably one type of comment that will come up in terms of what might be an obstacle in terms of that kind of thing. Many of the donors have specific sorts of requirements that they place on the particular scholarships that they are funding. And this is, as I understand it, simply a foundation that's been set up to accommodate additional sources of monies that are handled differently than a tribal government would handle them. I just make that comment.
Councilor Austin?
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I was going to note that a board member of the foundation had asked that we get a discussion item so they can come, and I intended to sponsor that for next month. I don't know what form that'll take in terms of the presentation, but it probably is good timing because we can kind of continue this discussion next month with that kind of information. So,
Have a board member present? Is that what you're
well,
asking?
I don't know who they will send, but they wanted to come before the committee and just give an overview of what they do. And so I'd like to put that on the agenda to explain to continue this discussion.
I would also ask one other thing that be part of that discussion. I understand we are to appoint advisory members to that foundation, and I don't believe we did that when we did our advisory members before, so we probably need to, and Chuck, if you would, if I could impose upon you to find out what the, well, I guess all the dates have ended for the advisory members. So we need to know how many advisory members are on that board, and we need to place that as an agenda item.
Mr. Chairman, I'll formulate an agenda topic and send that to you and to the speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Watts?
I don't know all the, thank you, Mr. Chair, I don't know all the details, but it seems like we're trying to breach a independent nonprofit that was set up so that, you know, donors could be assured that politicians weren't trying to mess with their donations and money and such. And it sounds like we're going down that road, and I don't know that those advisory board members for that are something we do appoint since it's an independent nonprofit. I think that they have chosen to ask certain people on the council to attend or not. I mean, I don't think any of us need an official advisory capacity to go there, especially if it means more hotel rooms and other things getting comped. I think that would be ridiculous, so just want to get that on record. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Moore.
Thank you.
Head Start is not represented, so we will have leadership. Item number 4, Mr. Mark Skinner. Is he present? I do not see Mark. If not, we'll drop down to old business. Time? Old business?
Yes, we're going to, at this time, withdraw this. All of our questions have been answered in that we are aware that the AG is working on copyright issues and aware that there are some scholars that have been brought in to review and update the material, and we're also aware now that the executive branch is enlarging the program to include a larger audience, and so as co-sponsors, we'll be withdrawing this as a topic at this time.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, has there been anything provided in writing?
I'm going to yield to our AG on this. I think they're still doing some assessments on this.
Well, as to my part of it, we have engaged outside counsel, very reputable copyright counsel to review what we have already done, and there is no written report as to that yet, but it is still ongoing.
Okay.
What about the new program?
I think that's forthcoming. Is Dr. Martin still
Okay.
in? We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dropping down to new business, none pending.
We amended the agenda to include.
Drop back to the, okay, Mr. Baker, you want to
Yes.
present that resolution?
Yes, thank you. On May 12th of this year, our former capital New Eshota is being recognized for its 50th anniversary as a state park. And this commends the preservation of our historic site, one of our former Cherokee capital. And I would make a motion that we pass this resolution and move it before council tonight so it can be presented to them on their 50th anniversary.
Second the motion.
Okay. A motion, second by John Garvey. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I did have one question. Were the pictures you were gonna do, Jack, were they for this meeting? The pictures that we
Oh,
were talking
no.
about?
No.
Oh, okay. Because what I was gonna say was if that, we could just mark for the council house what is needed to take care of that picture work.
Okay. Actually, that's already taken care of.
Okay, okay, I just want to be sure that that is, it will work.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, a new business, I'd like to have, yeah, Counselor.
Yes, in light of the historical significance of this, I'd like to be asked if I could be responsive.
Okay.
I would
Sponsors?
also, I think most of us would like
Yeah, whole council, we're pretty much historic anyway. I'd like to call Dr. Martin and, is that Damon Mackey? Back to the, under new business, I want to discuss something real quick here on the syllabary.
That missing character?
Very simple. 6th row down, there's 3 characters in the syllabary here. This was created by Sequoia. The modern version eliminates one of these characters. They wanted to, the consortium present this, and we would be the first tribe to have the syllabary into the Library of Congress, is that correct?
Right.
So I supported it, but with leaving all 3 characters in. That's Sequoia's work. I don't think any of us are in the Hall of Fame yet. And so I would go with Sequoia's work and recommend this to the council. We can come up with a formal resolution at our next committee. Is that okay, Dr. Martin?
That would be excellent, and it would certainly be, it would support the efforts of the language consortium involving the 3 tribes.
Okay.
And plus, it would put something to rest that has been a problem for a long time. Because, well, you know what happens with prefixes and suffixes on words. If we don't use them, we drop them.
Sure.
That's what has happened here. And it just so happens that in meeting with the translation group not too long ago, in fact, the meeting before you visited with them, I believe, or it could have been that one, when we were talking and someone said, has anyone ever seen that one used before? And Mr. Crawler, translator, said, yes, my mother used it. And I looked through some of her letters and it's there. So that would be like dropping Z out of the alphabet we use because we don't use it a lot. So I'm happy to see that.
I would,
In fact, Mr. Chairman, that would be, in addition to the council here offering that, in my opinion, would be an excellent resolution for the joint council meeting in July.
yes, that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, ayes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Announcements? Motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Thank you very much.